A few weeks ago, I wanted to go with my girlfriend on a day trip to another city in central Java. Nothing special, we just wanted to have a good time, do a day trip and enjoy. So we made an appointment. We said we're gonna meet at 9 a.m. at the train station and in Yogyakarta. And yeah, nothing special, at least for me. So the next morning, me as a German, always punctual, you know, I was there 10 minutes ahead of time, waiting for her. At 9 a.m. nobody was there. I thought, okay, you know, this is Indonesia. I waited 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and then I said, you know, 15 minutes past 9 a.m. I'm gonna contact her. And then 15 minutes past 9 a.m. I contacted her, you know, I sent her a message, a text message, but I could see that she was not even available, so the message was not even delivered. I said, what the hell is going on, you know, come on, we want to go, you know, the train is leaving, you know. And then 9:30 passed and still no message, nothing. I was really pissed, you know, I was really upset, you know. And then I think at 9:45 I sent her a message. I told her I'm going home now. That's it. I canceled the appointment. I have better things to do. You know, I don't want to, you know, waste my time here. Something like that. You know. Of course, I didn't say any bad words, but I communicated my frustration about this. You know, and let her know how I think and feel about this. You know. And then, I don't know, I think an hour later or so, once I reached home, over an hour later, I received a message from her where she basically apologized to me, and I don't know what really happened, why she was late, but so this is the story, and this is what I want to talk about in this video. Rubber Time and Co. The different mindsets between Indonesian people and Westerners, because this is something you as a Westerner, especially as a Westerner, will run into in Indonesia. You will run into these obstacles. Not only that, rubber time is one aspect. I will mention a few here in this video, but you will run into this if you want or not. If you are from Southeast Asia, from the Philippines or from Thailand or other countries, it's not so bad, because also in the Philippines they don't have that term rubber time, but they call it Philippine times, you know. In the Philippines, for example, if you have an appointment for dinner at 8 p.m., forget about that. The Filipinos will be there at 8 p.m. sharp. They will be coming at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30. You know, so very frustrating from a Western point of view. This example here with my girlfriend is very typical. You know, it can happen with your girlfriend, with your acquaintances, even at work. It happened with my colleagues, you know. It's very common in Indonesia. And I asked myself the questions for many years, why is that? You know, why is that? And why are there other things which I still today have great difficulties to understand? I think we can all agree that we Westerners have a different mindset than Southeast Asian people. I think by nature it should be clear that, you know, when you are like 10,000 kilometers apart, you know, like me, I'm from Germany, and I think Germany is roughly 10,000 kilometers away from Indonesia, that there is at least, that there must be a difference in mindset and culture, in language and everything, right? And this is the case. So, without going into too many details here why certain things are the way they are, but we Westerners, we have a different mindset than Indonesians. This is, I think, a no-brainer. We Westerners, we are very logical, right? Very analytic. We also do a lot of critical thinking, hopefully. Some of us do, most of us maybe don't, even in the Western world, but we are very rational, very logical, very analytic, you know. We are goal-oriented, solution-oriented, you know. Reasoning, we place a great value on reasoning in our culture, and especially as males anyway, because males by nature are more rational and more objective, than women anyway. So don't forget, many Westerners who come to Indonesia are males by nature. So we are males, we are rational, and we are coming from a Western culture, which is even more rational than any other culture in the world. Our culture, our Western culture, is all about independence. As young people, we want to become independent as soon as we can. I remember when I was like 16, 17, 18 years old, I was still doing my apprenticeship, but as soon as I was done with it, I wanted to move out from my mother's house. This is very common in Western cultures. We value independency, which also means economic independency, and our culture is very individualistic, okay? We have this causality thinking, right? At least me. Cause and effect. Why certain things happen? Why do they happen? What is the cause? What's the reason? When something is happening or has happened, I can only speak for myself, but I want to know why this thing has happened. Why did it happen? I want to get to the cause, to the root cause, because I want to understand the reason, because maybe in the future I can avoid that problem, or I can find a better solution. So this is my reasoning, this is my rational. I want to get to the core of things. I ask a lot of why questions. Unlike Indonesian people, they think a little bit different. So why that is, I will not go into here. It has to do with our upbringing, also with our history. The church plays a big role in that development, and then later in the 18th century we had this movement in Europe called Enlightenment, which wanted to get away from church thinking and dogmatism and wanted to emphasize more on your own critical thinking, independent thinking, that kind of stuff. So it has to do with that also. And this Enlightenment movement in the 18th century never reached Southeast Asia, because Southeast Asia has been dominated still today by other philosophical schools, like Confucianism in China and Vietnam, and I'm not so sure about Indonesia, but they also have their influences. In opposite to the Western mindset, the Indonesian mindset is, I find, more intuitive, and maybe you could also say they speak more or act more or behave more from their heart, It's more intuitive, it's more gut feeling, We Westerners, I mentioned this already, we do a lot of, hopefully, critical thinking, question things, And in Indonesia, people are more, let's say, quiet, more obedient, more submissive. In general, this is a generalization. I'm not saying there are no critical thinkers in Indonesia. There are for sure, and I hope there are. We Westerners, we like to speak up, speak our mind. And Indonesian people are more on the side of listening, again, more calm, more quiet, more listening, which, by the way, are all good qualities, listening is a great skill. And we Westerners, we are more upfront, right? And we are very quick with our mouth, very direct, Many Asian people have problems with that, We Westerners are upfront, direct. If I like something, I will tell you. If I don't like something, I will tell you straight away. In Indonesia, it's actually the opposite. It's way more about face saving, which is also a very good thing. It's a social skill also. Face saving is not only because they want to save their own face, they also actually want to save your face, For example, if you make a statement and this is clearly wrong, then an Indonesian guy or girl would actually never directly point out to you, oh, you're wrong, and then they start an argument and you continue arguing. No. An Indonesian guy or girl would rather smile or keep quiet knowing that you are wrong, because he or she wants to save your face also, right? he or she could point out that you are wrong, and he could win, or she could win the argument, but then you would lose face and you would look stupid, or maybe at least you would feel that way. But the Indonesian guy or girl don't want that. So it's actually a good thing, you know. So you see already, we should kind of try to balance Western and Asian approaches, right? That would be the right way. And this is a very good example what I just mentioned, this face-saving thing. This is very important also in other Asian cultures. And I remember this from being at work in Indonesia. I was a chef in charge of large kitchen teams. I was leading dozens of people. My kitchen teams consisted of like 40, 50, 60, 70 people. So this is a huge amount of people. You have a lot of responsibility, and you're dealing with them, with individual personalities, and things happen in the kitchen. Kitchen is a busy environment, a very stressful place. You have demanding customers who pay a lot of money. Foods need to be cooked quickly. You need great organization skills, you know. I had great fun working in Indonesia, but issues came up, and for example, if something has happened or some employee messed up, I would say, what happened here? What did you do? Well, what's going on? And these people, they would never deliver long and strong explanations to me. They would rather just say, I don't know, or they would just smile. This is because they want to protect themselves. They want to save their face. It's a non-confrontational culture. Now we Westerners are very it can seem to be very confrontational. This is what I think Asian will perceive, Asian people and also Indonesian people. They perceive us as aggressive, confrontational, but actually we are not, right? Because we want clarity. Like I said, I want clarity. I want to figure things out. And it was very difficult for me with my Indonesian teammates to figure things out, how they really tick, how they really think, what was the reason behind their actions, you know? Because most of the time they were too shy to admit or to say it, you know? And that was very frustrating for me, you know, in the beginning, you know? So this, I don't know, many times you will hear that, I don't know. They will just say, it doesn't matter what kind of question you are, especially when it comes to tricky questions, you know, they will just say, I don't know, you know. This is a universal tool to just save your face and pretend you really don't know, okay? Another very interesting thing which I experienced in Indonesia is also, especially also with my girlfriend, sometimes, you know, we are thinking what to do, or, you know, how to spend our time, and then I would ask her, let's go eat something. What do you want to eat? And she would say, oh, it's up to you, you know. I don't know, it's up to you, you know. And now I'm used to that kind of mindset already. I know what's behind this, but in the beginning I was like confused, you know. I mean, if I ask a simple standard question like, what do you want to eat? What do you like? What do you prefer? Then at least I would give a straightforward answer. For example, oh, I want to eat fish today, or I would like to eat some, I don't know, McDonald's, you know. Even I don't go to McDonald's, but, or I want to have a tiramisu, you know. But oftentimes I hear, and still today from my girlfriend, that she just don't know. It's up to me, you know. So this is something you will encounter a lot, this seemingly undecisiveness, you know, this wobbly, gobbly, no structure, rubber kind of answers, you know, which can drive some expats and Westerners nuts, especially at work, you know. So this, what do you want to eat? Oh, it's up to you. It's not really a big thing. It's rather a funny thing, but, you know, it is representative for many things, or for certain things in Indonesian culture, you know, the way people communicate and interact with. I don't know how Indonesians among each other deal with that, because when they are among each other, you know, they speak their language, so it's difficult for me to understand. But I can tell you it's a fascinating topic actually, right? Now, rubber time. Another big problem for me, still today. I'm from Germany. In our culture in Germany, punctuality is valued very highly. You know, we are living by the clock. This is how I was raised. You know, always watch the time, be on time. Time is everything. And this is also the Western mindset, right? Time is money. We have schedules, we have deadlines and stuff like that. Western people have a future time perspective, right? We are always looking forward, we are calculating, we are rational, we are looking into the future. Therefore, we need to plan, organize, we have goals. That probably also stems from our culture and upbringing, because in Europe you have 4 seasons, right? You have spring, summer, fall and winter. And in the winter time, the Indonesians don't know that. It's not only very cold in Germany, and you have a lot of snow in some parts, but you also have no food. There is no food available. There is no food growing, you know. In Indonesia, all year around, basically, food is growing. Rice, fruits, vegetable, you know. All around the year you can plant and you can harvest, right? You can seed and harvest. Not so in Germany. The reaping season in Germany mostly is the harvest season is in fall, and you have to prepare for the winter time. Maybe that's interesting for the Indonesians who don't know. So you need to pre-plan, you need to be proactive. So our Western thinking by nature, in the literal sense, because it's dictated by nature, by Mother Nature, forces us to think ahead, to be proactive, to plan things out, to organize. Yeah, you have a goal, you have obstacles, you want to find solutions. Yeah, for example, if the harvest was bad in Germany in one fall, so what are you gonna eat during the winter time for the next 4 or 5 months? You wanna starve to death, so you need to think. You know, you always need to think. You need to figure things out. This is a part why Westerners think that way. We have a future time perspective, you know. And Indonesian people seem to live more in the past or in the present, you know. Maybe not so much in the past, but more in the present, you know. I was talking to one Indonesian guy just a few weeks ago in Yogyakarta, and he explained it to me like, we Indonesians, we think only like the next day noontime, you know, and everything else past that time, it's not really concerning us. And I found it a very interesting statement, because it also has something good in it, you know, because we Westerners, we are worry way too much, you know. Our life seems to consist only of worrying and worrying and worrying, and this is what many Indonesian overseas workers say and also complain about, who are living in Europe, in the States, in Australia, you know. They say, you know, it's all nice, we can make good money here, we have all amenities, but the people, what's wrong with these people? They have everything, the Westerners. They have money, they have amenities, they have convenience, they have everything, but they seem to be always unhappy and worried and thinking and then so many things. And in one way, I can understand the Indonesian people now way better, you know. So this is the mindset. They are more present-minded, and what is happening in 1 week from now is not so much their concern, because they have this mindset, things will happen anyway, and then we will kind of arrange ourselves. Similar, like, I believe Jesus said something like, don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will come anyway. I think he said something like that. That's a great truth, right? So yeah, we Westerners, we thinking in terms of deadlines and timelines. And that can lead to great conflict inside Indonesia. When you are a Westerner and you're running a business, or you're involved in the business and have Indonesian employees, and I can speak out of experience, I was working in Indonesia for many years. It is definitely, this rubber time thing has great potential for conflict. And I run into a lot of difficult situations with my employees because I was frustrated. I was asking myself, you know, what the hell is wrong with these people? Why can't they be on time? They all have a watch. Why don't they use it? And really, they're running around with watches. They have watches like this. They carry it, you know. But apparently they don't use it. I don't know. It drove me nuts. And still today, as you could see from the example with my girlfriend the other day. So Indonesians, they are more relationship focused probably, you know, and in order to develop a proper relationship, that needs time, right? It cannot be done by the clock, according to a schedule, according to a timeline or a deadline, right? So Indonesian people are more like intuitive, more in the present, and things take time, you know? So the only way for me was to explain it to them. In the beginning I was very frustrated, but then I figured things out, and the only way is to explain it to them, what your expectations are, and you are in a business environment, let's say when I was working, you know. But even with my girlfriend, I explained it to her. I said, I'm from Germany, in our culture we value time a lot, and I explained a few things to her, and later, like an hour later when she went home, she actually texted back to me and said, thank you for teaching me a lesson today, Marcel, she said, because I learned something. And I'm glad that she understood, you know, because it also makes me happy, because she wants to learn about my culture. And I'm always transparent and want her to learn. And I always try, if we have discrepancy, to explain where I'm coming from, because this is the mistake many Westerners make, and you will probably also do in the beginning, because you come with your Western mindset, you drop everything in Indonesia, your whole baggage, and you come with your assumptions, you know. You assume the Indonesians tick the same way as you tick. No, they tick completely different, and you have to understand that, and you have to question your assumptions. Don't assume anything, you know. And because I know that, now I handle things differently with my girlfriend, you know. I communicate a lot. I explain why I'm frustrated. I also explain her my expectations. And although I have to work on my expectations, I still at least communicate this to her. So I told her, you know, when we say 9 a.m., it is 9 a.m. We said we meet at 9 a.m. at the train station. We meet at 9 a.m. and preferably you be here 10 minutes before 9 a.m. And she didn't understand, so I explained it to her, you know, in my culture it's like that, you know, it's also respecting the other person's time. We have no time to waste, you know, and if you are not on time, in my culture, it shows great disrespect of the other person. And then she started to understand, you know, so this is what I try to do, and this is all I can do. If she really internalizes it eventually, it's up for debate, or it's a different question, but at least I told her about it, so because I want her to understand. And this is what I did also with my employees. I later then tried to understand, and it actually worked very well, you know. You just need to explain it to them in a calm, logical, reasonable manner, and they somehow will understand, or maybe not understand that, but they adopted to it. And I liked that, because that showed me that they respected me, you know. And even though they will never really internalize this future time perspective concept, they will not, because it's not in their DNA. The same way it is not in our Western DNA to just live from today to tomorrow. It is just not in our DNA, and will never be. All we can do is to come to these cultures, adopt something, maybe the good things, and calm a little bit down and take things more easy, which is actually good. So we have to meet halfway. Same with my girlfriend. So this is what I want her and me to do. We want to meet halfway. So that means even I am in Indonesia, I have to adopt to Indonesian culture, but since she is dating me, a Western guy, she also needs to meet me halfway and needs to adopt to my culture also. Otherwise the whole thing is not working. Yeah? It's not a one-way street. This is also important for the Indonesian women to understand in the audience. If you want to date a Western man, you need to want to meet halfway. There is no way around. And you also can see this lack of future time perspective in in areas like health, yeah, or projects or work in Indonesia, because, you know, it can get very frustrating, because when a project is done, sometimes it looks very sloppy, and you, as a Westerner, ask yourself, and you're wondering why they are just so sloppy, for our term sloppy, you know, because 2 weeks after a project is finished, the first obstacles already come. Something breaks down and needs to be repaired. And you ask yourself, why the heck didn't they do the job properly in the beginning? Yeah, this is this mindset, you know. The Indonesian people, they look more at what they done right in this moment, instead of what they did not so correctly or what they did wrong, in order to figure out how they can make it better in the future. There you see. So they're lacking that perspective. Of course, I'm generalizing here. This is my general impression from living for many years in Indonesia and also working there, and dating also different people, dating women, you know. It is, I'm not saying there are not strategic thinkers in Indonesia. There are, for sure. There are very successful business people and other guys who are strategic thinkers. But in general, this is the case in Indonesia. This is what I wanted to talk about today. And what I did to adopt is just, yeah, you need patience. You need to want to learn about the culture, and you need to be able to adopt also, and also to, yeah, let go of your expectations, let go of your demands, you know. Don't forget, you are a guest in this culture, you are new. You have to adopt as much as you can, and then the rest you will explain to your Indonesian friends, colleagues, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. Yeah. Patience and the willingness to adopt, and to also be flexible with your own expectations, okay? With that being said, I'm checking out for the day, because it's getting very hot already, and it's only 6:45 in the morning here. It's unbelievable. It's so humid. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Looking forward to your comments, because this is a topic I believe many Indonesians have something to say about, right? Rubber time and co. I'm checking out for today, and I'm looking forward to see you in one of my next videos. Take care. Bye bye.